Okay, let's talk about that thumbnail and title. I am not giving up on YouTube. I'm not even taking a break from YouTube. However, I do think some things need to change. I think we need a bit of a shake up on this channel, and what I thought I'd do is take you out for a little walk, grab some photos and talk about those along the way, but also talk about some of the challenges that I'm facing with doing the YouTube videos at the moment and how that's probably going to affect the channel over the coming months. What changes are going to happen. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. It's hard to believe, but it's almost exactly 8 years since I did my first photography video on YouTube. It was a landscape photography video because that's kind of the genre that I was committed to at that time. And looking back on it, it was awful. I mean, blurry, shaky, dreadful audio. Probably even the photography wasn't that good either. But since then, in the last 8 years, I have put out over 600 photography videos of one sort or another. That's an awful lot of videos. And to be honest, after so many videos over such a long period of time, it can actually be quite difficult to try and keep things fresh and do anything that's new. And that's why I think I need to kind of shake things up, or one of the reasons why I think I need to kind of shake things up and do something a little bit different in these videos that I haven't done before, or maybe haven't done a lot of before. Don't know if it's a cicada or some kind of grasshopper just landed down there. I'm going to do an easy shot of it from up high, because I suspect if I go down low, I'm going to struggle to get it and it probably scare it away. 100 to 400 lens and the teleconverter. Yeah, there it is. It's not the greatest angle, but I'm going to try and get down low now without scaring it off. Yeah, no, it's gone. In the 8 years that I've been doing these videos, I've seen a lot of channels disappear without a trace. Some of them came after me, some of them were around when I first started. And in many cases, this has been because people's lives have changed and they've no longer had the time to commit to doing this kind of thing. I guess there's probably some who thought it would bring them fame and fortune, and when it didn't, they decided to give up. But there's also been a lot of people that have quit on doing these videos because they say that doing the videos actually detracts from the photography, makes the photography less enjoyable or harder or whatever it might be. So they've decided to concentrate on the photography. And whilst that hasn't been a problem for me historically, I'm guessing at the moment I am finding that doing the videos is in conflict with what I want to do photographically. And that's another reason why I think things need to change a little bit. When I started this channel, I never had any hopes or aspirations of it being anything massive. I've got a nice little subscriber base now and people that watch my videos, and I'm very grateful to those people. And for that reason, of course, I want to make videos that are going to be interesting. I want to, give you something worth watching. And sometimes it's that is getting in the way of the kind of photography that I want to do, particularly as my photography is changing over time. In landscape photography, I won't say doing videos is easy, but creating content isn't too hard because it's relatively slow paced. You can talk about the scene that you're photographing, the setup that you're using, the conditions that you've got, the composition that you're trying to achieve, the exposure details, focusing details, all of those kind of things can all be stitched into a video, and it makes for interesting content, even if it's repeated, in multiple videos going forwards in different locations or with different conditions. But as I'm increasingly enjoying more wildlife and more dynamic type of photography, I'm finding that quite hard to do because quite often it's all over very, very quickly. You see something, maybe a lot of waiting around, but you see something, you photograph it, and it's all over. So there's no time to talk about what it is I'm trying to achieve or any of those things. And that actually is another one of the reasons why I think I want to try and shake things up and change things a bit. Now, I used to be a landscape photographer. That's what I described myself as. Now, I'm not. I still do landscapes occasionally, but I describe myself as a mixed genre, opportunistic photographer. What does that mean? Well, it means I'll photograph any style or subject that grabs my attention, that I think will make for an interesting image. And it also means that I don't plan my photography. I tend to just go along and see what I'm presented with. That's what I enjoy doing. But that in and of itself presents a bit of a problem, because in order to create photography videos, you kind of need to have a certain amount of actual photography in there. And if I go out on a walk and the opportunities that I'm hoping for don't present themselves, I end up with no video that's worth showing. And in fact, today is a great example of that. I am really struggling today to find anything that's grabbing my attention to photograph. And it's not much of a photography video if there's no photography in it. Keep seeing some kind of swallows flying around, but they're so fast and so far away, I'm just not even getting a chance to kind of lock onto them to get a shot. Nice little tree sitting here on its own. Unfortunately, it is surrounded by a lot of rubbish and there's not really a clear background to it, but I can't help but wonder if there is an angle from one side or the other where I could shoot that tree. Not with this lens though, so I'm going to have to change. Probably going to put on the 8-25, I think. Now it's a case of doing a walk around the tree and seeing if I can find an angle to shoot it from. So one opportunity is to shoot it from this side. Now the problem with that is the sun is above it and open behind it. But if I get low down, I can actually put the sun behind the branches of the tree. The tree is going to be probably mostly in silhouette, but it might still work, particularly if I open the aperture up. I might get a sunstar. Go around the other side. So by shooting from low down, I can avoid having too much stuff in the background interfering with it. There's also some trees on the background there, tall, thin trees, that might just look quite nice if I can position them just right. On that one, the sun is coming from the side. If I go a bit further round, I'll have the sun behind me. So we'll try that one as well. Always worth trying a few. I'm kind of struggling to get any angle on this side that works. No, there's just too much in the background from this side. So what's going to change? I'm going to play around with some different formats. Last week, for example, I tried out a format where I was spending time talking about the finished image as well as showing the actual photography taking place. So I may do more of that. I may do some where I change the point of view, so trying to show you the point of view that I'm seeing as I'm shooting rather than you looking at me taking pictures. That's not always easy to do in certain conditions, but you know, we can try it on some. I'm also thinking of doing some videos that are not just a single trip out. So occasionally I quite like to just pop out and take the odd picture here and there without it being a major trip out, you know, just popping out for 20 minutes. Not enough to make a video of, but if I piece a load of those together, it perhaps presents an interesting picture of the kind of photography that can be done over a number of days. So there might even be some of that kind of thing going on as well. And I might try some other formats, you know, ones where I don't talk at all and it's just music, or ones where I don't talk while I'm out in the field, just do a voiceover. Just things to mix it up a little bit and see what kind of different videos I can produce. Quite a nice dragonfly sitting on a rock down there, on a rocky wall down there. I'll try and get a shot of it. Yeah, I think I've got it. I think that's okay. I would have liked to have got a bit closer to it, but it's flown away now, so. The other thing, and it's probably the biggest thing, is to take a little bit of pressure off of myself to get a video out every single week, because it can actually be quite hard to achieve that. It's probably going to be easier over the next 6 months to achieve it, because we're coming out of summer, going into the cooler months, it will be easier to get out and about. But nevertheless, I think giving myself permission to miss the occasional week, or even 2 weeks, in order to put something out that is better, higher quality, I think that's worthwhile. So occasionally I might miss a week or even 2. I'll try and put something in the post section on YouTube to let you know, so you don't tune in expecting to see something and it's not there. But I think that's a bit of pressure I need to take off of myself in order to give this channel a bit of a refresh and do something a bit different. As well as, of course, as we're coming into the cooler months, I can get out and explore new locations and do different things which I haven't been able to do over the summer because of the heat and other factors. Some of these swallows flying around here, but they're too fast. I just cannot get them to lock in. Oh, there's one landed. on one of the wires. Okay, I'm going to go over to Pro Capture so I can get some shots of it, but then also if it flies off I might be able to get an image of it as it flies away. It's quite difficult to find out where the actual shot needs to be at this focal length. There it is. And it's just flown away. Now the question is, did I get anything as it flew off? I think unfortunately as it flew away from me, so it's probably not going to be that great a shot. Might be okay though. I guess we'll have to see when we get it back home. Right, that's about it for today, I think. I hope you've enjoyed this video, the photography, and my plans for what's going to be happening on this channel going forwards. If you've enjoyed this, please give it a like. If you like the sound of what's going to be happening going forwards and you're new here, then don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until next week, bye.